Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts of the tickers that you can see behind me. I'm covering some of them up, so I'm going to disappear for a second. And these are all stocks that I covered over the past week, made videos on. So I wanted to follow up on them in case there are any questions and just to, follow up on them. And also to take any requests. If you're watching this live, feel free to let me know a ticker you'd like me to go over in the live chat. If you're not watching this live, comment below. I've gotten tons of great comments over the past week requesting or suggesting tickers that I could go over, or just general comments on some of the charting that I've done, whether complimenting or critiquing. And it's just been a lot of fun this past week. And forgive me if it took me actually a couple weeks to respond to. I didn't realize that there were some comments or replies to comments, something like that, that I had overlooked. But yeah, thank you so much for the engagement. It's just been really fun putting these videos together. And let's see, I'm going to make this thumbnail disappear. So we have the charts behind me, and I'm going to bring Ed back over so he's hanging out with us. And yeah, so what I have over on the left, I guess Ed is covering up some of the tickers that are over there. But on the left side of the screen, I've got the tickers that I covered for the week, the weekly tickers. And then on the right side, I just reorganized this. So not only do we have the ticker specifications, the highs, lows, things like that, market cap, excuse me. And then below that, since that was kind of space that I wasn't really using before, I have the profile of the company, whatever company I'm showing. There's some info there. So, I mean, if you want to pause the video, you can read about them, or, it's there. It's, some more information for us. Then I also have the news tab there, the analysis. So this is Bionano Genomics, ticker symbol BNGO. I had made a couple videos on this over the past week, and I believe over the past week. And so there's info there behind us. Apparently, analysts, the 5 analysts, or I guess 3 of the 5 analysts say it's a strong buy, whereas 2 say it's a buy. But it's also, very low market cap, very risky in case some of the products that they're producing, in case maybe they don't pass regulation, something like that, there could be some risk. So, it is a risky position, but there's potentially a lot of upside. If it goes to 24, that's a pretty big increase. But anyways, I'm just rambling on about that. And then there's also, the comments section. So maybe that's something for us to explore, whether that's through the live stream or, in some of the videos that I put out. All of that info is going to be there behind me. And and before I get into it too much, I should ask, it'd be great if you like the stream, like the videos, comment below your thoughts or throw them in the live chat, and subscribe to the channel to, follow along on this journey of tracking stocks, charting, and hopefully making some profits. But really just my goal is to for this channel to serve as like a trading journal for myself. Just if there's a stock that I'm interested in, whether I'm holding it or not, just follow it and try to improve my trading. And making these videos serves as a great way for me to document that, and also to be engaged with you guys so we can exchange ideas, and hopefully this can give the retailers, the retail traders, or investors, diamond handers, the edge. And so I've been having fun with this, and it's been really great to exchange with you guys in the comments. Thank you so much. And on that note, before I get into some charts, cheers, happy Sunday. Hopefully we all have a great week ahead. All right. So yeah, I'm just going to go through some of the tickers that are over there, unless people have requests. There were 2 stocks that people had mentioned in the comments that I will probably go over in this. But I've just kind of been making like a Degen Ed list of stocks that I'm interested in, and whether or not I've made videos on them. And so, I'll just go over those if there's spare time. Usually I just do these for an hour, but I'm happy to do them for longer if there are people in the chat, if we're exchanging ideas. So let's see. I just made videos on AMC and Biora Therapeutics, so ticker symbol AMC, of course, and ticker symbol BIOR. So you can check those videos out. I don't really have any updates on them since I just made those videos. Bionano Genomics. It's been a few days since I made a video on this. What I see in this chart is, this. I need to do a refresher on like my doji terms and stuff, the candle terms. But this looks like it's a spinning top. You got a topping tail there. So that suggests a reversal. Oh, and actually I kind of like to have the hollow candles. Let's see. So it's because, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer the open candles or the, when it's open, it means it was going up. And so this one that's green was going down, but it opened higher than the prior candle. So that's why it's green, but it's coming down. That's why it's filled. I might actually just stick with the solid candles because that does tell you, the red tells you the direction of it was down that day, and you can clearly see that it was higher. So I'm going to stop fussing with the open candles. But anyways, with this chart, you see that topping tail, that reversal candle, these big red candles. This inverted hammer candle does not look to be bullish at all, looks kind of bearish. But then on Friday, that candle with the long tail there, that looks like a bullish hammer, that a reversal could be upon us. And so let's see, I might just draw maybe from over here. Yeah, I could just connect to, let's see. So I guess it's approximate. So, I'm making the assumption over here. That's the bottom. It looks like it's support over here. No closes below that. And yeah, so it's possible there's a bottom, but, it could go lower. Could go to $1.20. But, just thought I'd throw that up there since the chart was up there. Okay, and Boyle. I'm going to take a step back for this, kind of zoom out on it. Need to do the auto scaling. I've got these, kind of ugly yellow boxes. I'm going to make them gray so they're not as hard to look at. Let's see, 1 second. Just taking the measurements, basically that, where there are these vertical lines, that's every single one of them is spaced 42 trading days apart, so approximately 2 months. And that those lines correspond with a dip in the RSI as well as a low in the price prior to there being moves of approximately or actually greater than 40%. This first box, 67, almost 68% increase over 16 bars, so 16 trading days, about 3 weeks. But then these other ones, this one, increase of about almost 46% over the course of 5 trading days, so just 1 week. And this is 8 bars, so almost 2 weeks, increase of about 43%. And so, I don't know if that's going to repeat. I have no idea, but I'm compelled by that. Just I would expect one to be 41 days or something, a little bit off of 42. But there's that 42-day pattern that's happened once. The initial one, and then it's happened again a second time, and then this would be a third repeat or a fourth time that a low in the RSI would correspond with a low in the price, and then a rapid move up 40% or so, or, maybe it would take 3 weeks like this first one. But, as we can see, close on Friday was $50.38. So that is below this line of support, or, that has served as support over here. And then also there's this touch point, this initial touch point on May 31st. And so Friday, last week, closed below that line. And so, while $50.38 is cheap, especially when I was previously talking about trading it from coming down here, going from 60, which ended up being a low of 57.06, going up to 60. And then actually, from that, there was on October 23rd, that's $57 about. It goes up to a high of 67.68. So at that point, I had sold my position. At 66, I wanted to do a 10% swing from 60 to 66, and that's what I did. And then after that, it dropped this doji. I don't what exactly you would call that. I think that's maybe a morning star or something, because it's so far down there. And let's see, that which that would suggest a reversal, morning star drop, and then so that would suggest a reversal into the upside. That's what we saw. And that is a low of 59.63. So then, from that again, there could have been another 10% swing back up to 69.59 was the high the day after that. So I did not participate in that. I saw this gap that I thought might be filled, but I had made my trade. I wanted to kind of see what happened. I wanted to see how it would cool off. And then, I was thinking that, let's see, that 54.50, that's what I was thinking. I think because, I was thinking that would be a good price to enter because of the resistance that was over here, prior support, right around 54.50. And so I had nibbled a little bit, but then I realized, it's probably going to head down more. So I picked up some right around the current price. I think I'm a little bit red, but somebody in the comments was, some people have been very excited about this pattern, possibly repeating. Others have been expressed caution, which, I think with being below this level of support, this could, tend down to, the low over here, 45.60, it could head towards that. And so, what I'm planning on doing with this is I'm just planning on dollar cost averaging, nibbling. But on November 29th, if this pattern repeats, if that does look like it's a low in the RSI, that would be, a great turnaround point for this. And so that's kind of what I'm waiting for with this. I'll be making more videos on BOIL as well as ticker symbol UNG, which is U.S. Natural gas, United States natural gas. So it's, tracking the same pattern because, they're both natural gas, but the swings for this, because it's not 2x leveraged for UNG, it is, they're 20% swings rather than 40. And so, but, this is going to be less volatile, so it's less risky. So I've just been really intrigued by BOIL. I started actually paying attention to natural gas through following Gareth Soloway. And, I traded this for a little while and, I've just gotten to know it, paying attention to it. Or I feel that I've gotten to know it. I feel pretty comfortable with the kind of moves that it makes. And, so hopefully, if this pattern is true, it probably isn't. But, if it is, I'm really curious to see what happens with it. And then I should also mention KOLD, ticker symbol KOLD. This is the UltraShort natural gas. So it's doing the exact opposite as the UNG and BOIL. And so as you can see, it's run up. And this is something that I was aware of KOLD, but I hadn't really paid too much attention to it. When looking at Boyle and seeing, oh, it's up here, it's above 66, which was my price target, I should have opened up positions in KOLD because, okay, I'm going to switch back one more time. So if we see this day that it was high of 69.59, that was on October 31st. And with that, we can see, okay, there's high volume there on that day, but then we see the volume diminish. It's diminishing those next few days. So you can see down here. And then on this red day, we see that topping tail. That's a sign that it's going to be reversing and low volume. And so that, to me, November 3rd, let's take a look at KOLD. That would have been a good day to pick up some shares of this. So November 3rd, on the bottom, look at that. That's beautiful. I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see it. Look at that bottoming tail. You've got that bullish hammer, November 3rd, which exactly, corresponds with this topping tail, this bearish hammer with Boyle. And so seeing that, it's like, okay, switch over to KOLD, get a gap up, and let's see what kind of run that would have been had we partaken in it. I'm just going to do it from, let's say, the close. So that's, let's say the latest we would have gotten in, and going up 28% to the close on Friday. And so that's probably, it could even be higher, it could be up to almost 30%. So that's a pretty nice swing. And so I'm going to try to pay more attention to KOLD, ticker KOLD, the short natural gas, because if I'm paying attention to long natural gas, I should pay attention to short and then maybe take advantage of opportunities on both sides of that. Because that could have, you want to make money on the way up as well as on the way down. So I will, I don't know that I'll do too much with, I'll probably continue to do UNG. It's just not as exciting because it's not as volatile as Boyle, but that, UNG is also less risky in that sense. So I'll probably be covering all three of them whenever I do something on Boyle, natural gas. I'll be doing Boyle, KOLD, and UNG. And then so I guess continuing on, BYND, I did a comparison of this bull flag with a comparison with Palantir and the bull flag there. And hey, viewer, I see somebody's viewing, so welcome to the stream. So with BYND, there's this bull flag that I have drawn here, where you have this flagpole here, the sideways consolidation. It's going downwards, so that means it's more likely to break to the upside. And earnings was on November 8th. The day following, I was expecting, because of this bull flag, that it would pop because of earnings. It didn't really pop that much because of earnings. It went up I think it was it might have been the pre-market, or no, it went up in the first hour, I believe, of trading on the 9th. And so that, broke out, hit a higher high as far as this flag goes. The prior high that was hit on November 3rd was 753. This broke up to, 766, but then came back down. That would have been the exit for it. And then, this final candle does look like it is bullish. It's a bullish hammer. However, somebody pointed this out in the comments. If we look on the weekly time scale, that actually looks like there's a potential for a reversal. You got this, I think that's referred to as a spinning top that suggests a reversal. It also closed below the prior week's close. And so, that suggests to me that, maybe there'd be a couple days of price going up the next couple of days. So if I don't have a position in BYND right now. I attempted to swing a couple of options, and I lost money on that, but not much. I was just kind of experimenting with it because I suck at options. I wish I was good at them because you can make a lot of money with them, but I usually just don't. Don't currently have a position in BYND. And, if I was holding, I would think that the next couple of days there might be some, bearish consolidation. So price action moving up. So, maybe this would go up over here, but without having closes above these candles. So really, or above these wicks. So the highest close in this pattern is, let's see, the highest close is from the flag, because all of these are red candles, so closes at the bottom. This one is lower than that. So yeah, all of these closes lower than the initial pull. And so in order for this to break and to be bullish, you would want to see a close above these wicks. And since this wick just shot up to $7.68, in order for there to be bullish continuation above that level, you'd probably want to see a close above that level. It's possible maybe in the next couple of days we'd see a close above these wicks over here, but not these two longer wicks. And so that might be, just bearish consolidation, that there might be some continuation to the upside over the next few days, but ultimately that might break to the downside. And so, if positions were established in this formation, I would think that in the next few days there would be a chance to exit before this comes back down. But yeah, this just seems very weak right now, especially looking on the weekly time frame with the spinning top. And then so conversely, I'm going to look at Palantir, which, has this kind of like lame flag pull here, I guess, but just this gap up. I was expecting it to come back down to fill this gap, because it seemed like, with, let's see, this initial gap up did not close above like 1850, but then this candle did, so it seemed to be strong. Then there's this bull flag consolidation going downwards, but then this last candle on red candle on November 9th closed below both of these horizontal lines, so closed below this high on November 2nd. And so that seemed to me like it was going to be bearish, but it's always faking out. There was, let's see. And then, there's this bullish move after that held high. So it does seem like this seems super, super strong. So it seems likely that it could be testing these all-time highs. Actually, no, that's not all-time high. I don't think that is an all-time high. But most recent high, 52-week high of $20.24. So I would think it's likely to test that, but I also imagine, because there's this giant gap down here, that it's not going to go too much higher. But this whole thing, this giant gap up, consolidation and move higher, seems pretty strong. And so just looking at on the weekly time frame, there's this, bullish hammer on the weekly time scale, closing, of course, higher than this prior candle. And so, yeah, and actually with this large green candle going up, I wonder if this, might consolidate sideways, making a bull flag on a weekly time frame before making an attempt at breaking above 2024. And I'm actually going to, take a step back, a monthly time frame. Yeah, not the all-time high. I didn't think so. Oh, wow. And actually, this is pretty cool. It looks like big candle up and all this movement over there. That looks pretty impressive how it's been holding this line that I have drawn there. So, yeah. Let's see. What other tickers on this list? Oh, let's see. Clover Health. I was requested that I make a video on this over the weekend. And because there was some concern that because on these 3 days, November 7th, 8th, and 9th, tails of the candles went below these lines of support. On the 9th, it not only opened at that upper line of support, it went down and closed below both of them. However, Friday closed above both of them. So that to me makes me feel bullish about it, that there's going to be some potential upwards potential with it. But it's also, a pretty small company, small market cap, 440 million. And, that's something I need to be paying attention more to, is just market cap. A lot of these tickers, which, you can see based on, this, a lot of them, the ones right behind me, pretty small market cap. Some of them, the ones over here, the red ones, that would be Bionano, Genomics, and Hycroft, so small that they don't really show up there. So that's something good to be paying attention to. And but yeah, anyways, Clover Health, that seems strong to me. If we look at the weekly, this doesn't look strong. This actually looks, this is a bearish engulfing candle. So let's see if I can pull up the technical signals, see what stuff this is going to say. Okay, what's this say? Price crosses moving average. So I'm not sure what the moving average is, but that does look like it's I think it's because the candle engulfs the other candle that's there, the green one, but it might not be because it doesn't fully encompass the wicks, but I think it does. I think it counts as an engulfing candle because of it engulfing the candle. And so that is a lot of bearish indicators on this. So I guess on the weekly time frame, this not as strong as I was hoping, or as I was thinking when looking on the daily. But this does seem like it's flattened out, so there might be it might end up being some bearish consolidation before it goes down more. But that's good to be paying attention to. And when I make these videos moving forward, I will, whether or not I include them in the video, I'll be sure to consider weekly candles, especially if I'm making videos over the weekend, because then, that has a concluded weekly candle. I'm just going to turn these technical signals off. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm probably going to put a comment on the CLOV video, just mentioning that bearish engulfing candle on the weekly. But that's also a good example of why it's good to be tuning into these live streams, because I kind of follow up with the videos that I may not get to do a follow-up video on. I do a little bit of coverage on them here. And so we can get a little bit more info, a little more prepared for the week. And then let's see. This is on the daily. Luminar recently made a video on this, kind of wondering if it's made, a double bottom. I think if we look on the weekly, that's a pretty big bearish engulfing candle, but, it does have this tail at the bottom. So that could be, double bottom there on the weekly time frame at about, let's see, what's the close on that day? Close 318, as like a potential bottom for that. Whereas it could also be, if we go to from the tip of the tails, the low 303, because 301 was the low of last week. So possible there could be some turnaround with that, but I always forget what I put in the videos because they all kind of blend together. But it looks like there is this descending line of support, which I guess I probably drew that on the daily. It does have this, bit that pierces that. But looking at it on the weekly, I think it actually looks a little cleaner. You got the low there, 3 touch points, the low here, these candles cutting through it. So that suggests that there could be some downside, maybe to 250. I believe I remember going over that in the video. Palantir, I just went over. Looks really strong. Rivian. This was I forget. I think its name is Volatility. I forget what his handle is on Twitter. But he pointed out, and which is clear here, that below this trend line level of support, broken below that, and then there's, to me it seems like this reversal doji that this could be going back up. But I would imagine if this is in fact bearish, because we've broken lower than that line of support, that this could then reverse, go up, retest this line of support, maybe going to, attempting to get back to 16. So that would be over, let's see, up around here, $16. But then it might break back down. So, tough to say. But yeah, I mean, if this can break above that line of support, that's now going to be resistance. If it can break above that and then bounce off of it, that would suggest to me that it's going to go higher. If it attempts to break through it and can't, then it's probably going to go lower and break down into, this other trend line that I have, and, could, retrace back to 1168 is the 52-week low. So, tough to say with this. Rivian, I haven't been, following all of these stocks that much. It's got a pretty large market cap, 14.75 billion. Yeah, I would expect, an EV company to be smaller, but I guess because they've just been ramping up so much, they've got a lot of capital. And also, I believe Amazon owns, I think, like 8% of that company. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, yeah, I've got these that's Fibonacci retracement. So we are at the 786. So, that's, I feel like it's probably going to serve as support maybe for the next week, but I think it will get rejected from this trend line before going back down. Or, maybe it comes back down and then bounces off the 786, but it's probably going down more. But there might be a bounce. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. This, channel is great for me and for learning about charting and getting better at it and communicating and following through and being accountable with my trades, being committed to them, being learning from them. And so we'll have to see with this. I'll be following it. We'll be learning together. So, hopefully the videos that I make provide value for you guys, because they definitely provide value for me. But yeah, since there's nobody in the live chat right now, I could end this. It's been about 30 minutes, but I'm going to go over to the Degen Ed list of stocks and ETFs, which includes 25 tickers. And so I'm going to go over some of that stuff from watching. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gareth Soloway, but I've really learned a lot from him as far as technical analysis goes. He does these game plan 25-minute videos right before market open. And I watch those when I come home from work, learn a lot from them. And he's been talking a lot about, he actually just did this special video on metals, specifically gold and silver look like they might be pretty bullish soon, whereas copper looks to be pretty bearish. And so I might, in this stream, go over some gold and silver stuff because I haven't really charted that for my own purposes. I had previously made a video on gold that was, I guess, a little premature as far as the bullish action going on. So I haven't continued with that. I think also that video only got like 8 views, which is probably good because it wasn't really the best video. And then there were a couple requests or ticker suggestions in the comments, one on Plug Power and another on APLD. So I'll go over those in this now. But yeah, I'll start with those. So the first one that I saw was on APLD. It looks like this bullish hammer reversal candle there with a bottoming tail. And so, let's see. Let's see. I could connect. This is on the daily. Connect this tail to that tail there. That looks like we're pretty close to a bottom. So, what do I think about this? Excuse me. I don't know if my throat made a funny noise. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's all because of this fun beverage. Hopefully you're if you're in the live chat, if you're watching this live, I see one person's watching live. Drop an emoji there. Cheers. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over APLD. I don't know if you just saw that. Drew this line here connecting these two tails of these candles from this gap up on May 16th to this tail on October 9th. Looks like near touches here around Halloween, and then got this top bottoming tail. So it looks like this could suggest, making higher lows, and so a bottom could be forming. And yeah, so I mean, this seems like it's a pretty. I'm pretty intrigued by this. The yellow line, let's see, that's going to be right around 450 or so. Let's see what the low was on Friday. 453. So actually, I haven't been watching this. I'm gonna add an alert for myself for, let's see, 4.5 and below, and so that to me seems like an interesting time to maybe establish a position. I don't have one with it. To be honest, I probably won't establish a position with it just because I don't want to spread myself too thin. But, at only $4.50 a share, that's pretty cheap. So, could, maybe establish something small just for fun. And then the other ticker that was suggested, and if you're interested in this, I can do a more full separate video on APLD, which, that might be something nice for me to do. Somebody was asking about my thoughts on plug power, and so my thoughts on this are really just based on, I wasn't paying attention to it before, but Gareth Soloway in his game plan, he went over plug power and actually took a pretty big step back. What do I have drawn there? I'm going to delete that. Let's see. I think there were some peaks here. He said $3. So I'm just going to... Wow, this is kind of crazy. $3. Where is that? Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to try to find the day that had maybe a high of... This is 240. This day, a high of 270. So it's something a little bit higher than... What's this one here? High of 298. So that's close enough to 3. I don't want to take forever trying to find the exact point. But yeah, so let's see. Kind of zoom in, get that exactly right. I'm going to be 0.3 cents off. Forgive me. But yeah, so that's the point that he was suggesting is significant. Maybe there's something over here. High of 330, too high. This one here, high of 228. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe this high of. Oh, that's way too high. What am I doing? Yep. So anyways, yeah, I'm just got that line drawn there at 3, and we're nearly at that point. And so in Gareth's game plan, he was saying that he'd be interested at 3, but because this is such a small market cap company, but actually, I've been talking about companies with much smaller market caps. This is 2.12 billion. So I think that's it might be a small market cap classification, whereas most other stuff I've been talking about, I feel like is micro or something like that. Maybe this is mid, being above 2 billion. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, that, basically what I would do for this, and actually I've got an alert here. What alert did I have? I put an alert on, knowing nothing about this, just, having heard about plug before. I was just, let's see, cancel. Yes, quit. I had just been thinking, it might go down to 3, even number. And, so yeah, have an alert there. And, if it hits 3, maybe there's a nice little swing that could happen there. Maybe a swing coming back up to, I don't know, these are weekly candles. So yeah. Well, excuse me, to fill this gap. So that would be going up to nearly $6. So if it goes down to 3, there's a potential to double from 3. But, really if it can break above this level, 420, then there's not much there. There's nothing there. So I could just, whip through that level to nearly double. But it, could take a long time. Who knows? But yeah, I'll have to do a video on this. I told the person in the comments that I'll do a video on plug tomorrow. And then I'll probably do a video on a follow-up on one of the stocks that I've previously covered. What I'm going to try to do is do 2 videos a day, one on a stock that I previously covered and one on a new one until, I've built up enough of a portfolio of stocks that I've previously covered to then just be following up on them. And then those follow-ups will serve to get us to know the stocks better, how the charts move, and from that be able to take advantage of lows, exit at highs, and, hopefully that works. But, that's what's going on with this channel here, just exploring these. And then so I guess I'm going to go over, unless somebody's watching now, if you want me to go over a ticker, you can let me know in the live chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go over gold and silver because those seem like they might be interesting pretty soon. Gold, I did make a video on gold that was pretty bad. I don't think it was that insightful. But I did go over Shiny in that, which is gold 3x leveraged ETN, exchange traded note. So I had never bought an ETN before, and it just moved very. It was not very dynamic. It would be stagnant a lot of the time, as you can see these just little dots here. So I sold that at a small loss. And, I think, it's lower than, what I had sold it at. So I feel good about getting rid of it. But yeah, I don't think that the bottom's been hit for this. And, if while waiting for the bottom with gold, I should have not gotten something that's 3x leverage because then I lose 3 times the amount on the way down. I should have bought either, GLD, which is gold spider shares, and that's about 180, or AAAU, which is much cheaper per share, but still has the same kind of movement, same percentage moves. And so looking at that, I'm just going to draw a trend line down from this high, or probably the close from that day. And actually I might do a parallel channel. And this is all, I know about gold, I know about silver because of Gareth Soloway and his videos. And so his game plan. So yeah, I'm just going to draw a line there, and then I'll probably connect it with the high of this day, or approximately that, and then connect to this. That seems more like an outlier. I'll connect it right here to that low. And yeah, so this is, this channel that's been trading down. And so what's kind of expected with gold, whether it's AAAU or GLD, that, this looks like it's bullish consolidation because it's coming down. It might actually just come down to fill. Yeah, it might just be coming down to fill some of these gaps. I don't know that it'd come down this far. That's actually interesting. There's like a double gap there. But yeah, so, were there gaps prior to that? Yeah, that's interesting, these gaps here. But, the thought is that this would come down to test this trend lines as support before making its attempt to go higher. And yeah, for me, I am on the sidelines for gold, but because it's covered, because I learn about gold by Gareth Soloway's coverage of it, and he's a really great technical trader, which I am learning from, trying to get better at through this channel and doing trades, or following stocks, following tickers and charts, learning from mistakes and as well as successes. And so this coming down, then potentially going up. So yeah, not the right time. Silver, let's see, one that so it's SLV. This is $20 a share. There's also AGQ, which is $24 a share. This this is 2x leveraged. So it's going to be more volatile, and it's also going to be a little bit harder to follow trends that would correspond with gold, because things are just going to be steeper, more volatile, whatnot. So if you look at SLV, I have this line drawn here. It's a crappy line. I don't know what these touch points are. This should be like that. So it's from the high on April 14th, and then a high on July 31st. Some, breaks above that, but basically what my understanding of this is that Gareth expects this to bounce, move up towards this line, which might be rejected, but because it's been tested so many times, and, again, maybe my line, and that actually gives, more upside potential. You've got, I like this better. If I actually do it on the close, I could do it on I'll do it on the open of, so it's July 20th, nearly a touch point on September 1st, and actually a break above. And actually, if I do make it lower, that makes the level of resistance a little bit lower, so a little bit more conservative. And so we have that trend line level of resistance that was, first touched here, and then it just been tested once, twice, 3 times, and then so it's expected that will be tested again. It might have to come down to fill this gap down to, what's the high on October 12th? The high is $20.32. So I'd imagine this, might come down to $20. That's actually where I have an alert. And so if it comes down to $20, which we're actually 32, yeah. So what was the low on Friday? 34, yeah. So 2 cents away from filling that gap. Pretty crazy. So, the bottom for this, or not necessarily the bottom, but the turnaround for this could be soon. And so, on the shorter time frame, that would be like a move from 20 coming up to this line of, let's say 22. So that's a 10% move. But then looking at this on the longer time scale, a really longer time scale, I'm going to have to do that on a monthly time scale to fit this. Let's see. It has a high over there of $48.33. So I'm just going to get a ray going here from 48.35, and then I'm going to connect that to, I'll connect it to this high, which is 27.98, 27.90. There we go. I'm going to lock that because I got those perfect. And so, that looks like it's been this, and I could probably redraw this to be from the close on April 29th. That's 2011. Crazy how far back that goes. So that's the close of April, because these are monthly candles. So if I'd adjust that line to be there, and then maybe to the highs here, so there would be some, I'm going to do that. I'll see. I can undo if I screw this up. So I'm going to just draw this to right around there. Draw this one to over there. I'm going to Can I? Yes. Okay. So I'll lock that up there. Yeah. So I'm not really sure which I like the best way to draw that, but that level that has, was resistance here and then has been here. There's now this consolidation under that. And so while there might be a short-term break out or break up to this one of these trend lines that might yield 10% gain, there is a possibility that, let's see, get the price range tool. So let's see, from right around, the current price going up to the all-time high, 138% change. And so that's not something that would happen overnight. That would be over probably many, many months, years maybe. But, that's something that I'm aware of thanks to Gareth Soloway. And so I'll probably cover that on the channel. However, the gold video that I made previously was not very popular, only 8 views. And so I don't know that metals are going to be that exciting, but, what's exciting is getting, making profits. So, yeah. And so I've seen a few people come in and out, nobody in the live chat. So I don't know if, what I'm talking about is boring, but, I guess that's kind of the nature of it. This stuff is kind of boring, but, hopefully we can be doing it together, having some fun Sunday evening, getting ready for the week. And, if there are any ticker requests, always glad to take them during the live stream or in the comments. But yeah, I've been doing this for 51 minutes, a little over 51 minutes. So I might take a look at some of these stocks that I have over here on the side. Let's see. Ooh. Since that I did a weekly, that's included in the weekly, I'm going to remove it from Degen Ed. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at Ford. Let's look at that on the weekly. Yeah, that looks like it could be bearish consolidation, bear flag before moving lower. Yeah, wow, actually, that doesn't look very good. So that could be coming down to $9 or let's see, what's this level? About $8. $8 seems more likely. Yes, this seems like it's breaking lower. Ford does not look too hot. Let's see. Next Era Energy. This is one that I think in one of my earlier streams I had mentioned this, around this level, around 49.39. I didn't establish a position, I think partly because, over, $20 a share. I just didn't want to be loading into it because, I don't want to spread myself too thin. I don't necessarily regret not being in it, but if I would have, from this line, that'd be move of 23%, almost 24%. Yeah, 24% to the high there. So that could have been really nice. That's over the course of about a month, 21 trading days. But yeah, I didn't participate in that. Where do I see this going? I think that there could be, there's this gap down here. So, maybe that needs to be filled, but this bullish hammer, this reversal, it could potentially be a reversal going back up to then retest 57, that area. But yeah, I don't have a position in it, but this is also, one that has pretty large market cap, 113 billion. And so I feel like I need to be covering more larger cap companies, more larger cap stocks, because most of what I do, I feel like is a little too small, a little too risky, but maybe that's exciting. I'm just trying to do what, people will watch and, that I can learn from, whether it's a large or small cap, we can be learning together. Let's see. This is U.S. oil. I think this is actually, I don't know. I don't know enough about this. I don't follow this, so I'd have to, learn more about it. But my impression is that it's not looking too good. This might be a reversal there. QuantumScape, this is one that, I've been interested in. I wanted to cover it probably somewhere around here, but it's like, no, I'll wait for me to feel like there's a bottom. It does look like there's this bullish reversal hammer. Like, look at that tail coming down. That could be, bounce. And actually, yeah, it looks like there's some support there. Let's see, from the open, which was $5.41. That's where the line is. I'm going to lock that because it's perfect. So that, 2 touch points there, and then this candle, or the tail of the candle, going through that. So yeah, that could be a level. Maybe QuantumScape is one that I want to cover in the video tomorrow. So I'm actually going to put this in my daily list, as well as with plug. Where's plug? Oh, they're right next to each other. Also, I'll put that. So I will hopefully cover both of those tomorrow, but I did say I would do plug. So if I can't do QuantumScape, I'll do that another day. Square. I wonder if this is, weakening and going to come down. Let's see, what's the weekly look like? Yeah, I think that this could go a little bit higher, but it does. You can just see it with the, let's see if I can spread that out. So you can see the volume is decreasing there. So, I'd expect Square to, be topping, maybe a retest 53.37. What's the high of that day? 53.35. Maybe it would retest that, but I think it's probably going to be coming back down just because volume's diminishing. Maybe 48 would serve as support. And actually, yeah, I forgot about this. I think when it was down here, I picked up a really small position. Any positions that I pick up are really small. I don't have a lot of capital, and takes more of the emotion out of it for me. And so I think I had a share at $39 dollars, and I sold it at 48 because I saw that as being resistance based on this wick. But really, what I should have done is I should have waited for what's the low here, 52.26, because while this wick went up to that level, there's not much above it. There's just this one candle. So really, if I would have set my sell order for the base there, let's see what that's the low of 52.26. That was, and actually, yeah, these are weekly candles. So I probably want to look at the 4 hours so we can see what the after hours price was. But yeah, so what's the low here? I'm going to look at this precisely. 52.26. So if I look at 52.25, yeah, let's just say 52.25, playing a 1 cent safe. Let's see what the daily, when it shot up during that on 11.3. Let's see. And I think actually 11.3 was the day after earnings, so it went up on 11.2, November 2nd. So I'm pretty sure it went above 53. And so if that's the case, this is, yeah. So, that's, a great example of knowing what's resistance, what's support. And while that was resistance prior to, you see this 48, there was this wick that went up to touch that. Above it, there wasn't that much. So if I look back at the daily, so I was basing the 48 on this one touch point, but above it, there's not much consolidation. There's not much resistance built into here that would prevent the price from going higher until you start getting up to 52.25, where this candle is, because you have all of this sideways consolidation that's going to serve as resistance, the stack of all of those candles, the accumulation of all of them. And so, yeah, looking back, I should have set my limit to 53. I would have made $5 more, so nothing crazy. But, that is a good lesson for me, hopefully a good lesson for you if you're watching this. But, I was happy to take profit. And so that's also, though, a good example, too. If I, sold at 48 when I could have made $5 more, or, 5 times however many shares you're holding, it would then be rejected at this resistance and then maybe come back to 48, which would serve as support. And so you'd then have that taking profits at resistance, letting it come back down, settle at support before making an attempt at that resistance again to break higher to, 55. So, I could have done that better, but I was glad to take profits because, it was good. It was a good trade for me in that I got profits, but a good lesson in that I could have gotten more based on these levels. Just makes more sense. And actually, what's the low of this day? The low 52.78. Yes, I could have just made it 53. I could have just made it 53. That seems like a logical, sound level, and if I go to the 4 hours, 53 was pierced on earnings after hours. So that would have been a beautiful trade. That would have been beautiful. And then you get this consolidation in there. That does actually look like it could be, that's crazy too. Look at this. What the hell happened? This tail, 38.61. That's crazy. I think that, why does that tail exist? I think corruption, that's why it exists. But yeah, I've gone over an hour at this point, so I'm probably going to end the stream. And, hopefully this was enjoyable for you, whether you watched some of it live or if you're watching it after the stream. Make sure you like the videos, comment below to let me know your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more types of videos like this. Just improving our trading. That's the goal, keeping a trading journal and going over these thoughts. I'm definitely learning a lot. Hopefully you are too. And thank you so much for watching. And so I'm going to end the stream now. I'll hopefully put out 2 videos every day, plus this stream. I should say 2 videos every Monday through Thursday. Probably won't put out a video on Fridays. Then do catch up on Saturday, Sunday, and then streams weekly. So I will put out a couple more videos tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy them. Thanks a lot for watching. And happy trading.